ashram, and we are on Zoom. And it's been quite an interesting challenge setting things up for that. We have Toby LaRoche with us to be our sound engineer and help us with this very complex thing, and Patricia Howard, our friend who drove out in a rainstorm from Boston to be my co-host. So I'm really grateful. Um, So we've been really looking forward to today. It's always a joy to celebrate Ma and experience her presence through chanting and listening to her words, contemplating them, and meditating together with both our local Sangha and our national and international Sangha. So thank you all so much for being here. Just a few technical things. You folks on Zoom will be muted for a good part of the satsang, but we'll have two times when we'll invite you to unmute so that you can speak. One during our brief introductions in a few minutes, and during our sharing session towards the end, later in the program. Patricia will be asking you to unmute when she calls on you, so you can be ready for that. And also, Toby asks us to please, those in the room, to please disconnect your phones from Wi-Fi if you are connected to Wi-Fi. I don't even know if I'm connected to Wi-Fi, but I hope I'm not. So let me tell you about the flow of the satsang today, just so that you have a feel for where we're headed. We're going to begin with the quote that we always start our satsang with about Ma's promise to us. And then we'll do opening pranam mantras, just one verse, the first verse. Then we'll have our brief introductions. And after that, we'll have one kirtan. I'll be singing Bhajamana Ma. And then we'll have a reading from one of Ma's great holy ones, Swami Vijayananda, about his first meeting with Ma and what happened during that meeting. And after that, Angie and Josh will be leading a kirtan. Jaya and Arjo coming back for unpopular demand after our last satsang. And then we'll have a reading from the Gospel of Ma. And then after the reading, so we will have had two kinds of readings, and we'll have a sharing time. And people both here in the room and people on Zoom can share from their heart something about Ma, their sadhana, something that inspired you in the readings, and so forth. So then after that, Katya will be singing a beautiful kirtan from off of the island of Madeira, off of Portugal, through the amazing miracle of Zoom. And then hopefully we will have figured out how to do a slideshow. We have a beautiful slideshow by a devotee named Gabrielle Bada for meditation, and Ma's voice will be singing in the background. After that, Rose is going to sing a beautiful chant, and then we'll have announcements, and we'll end with closing mantras. So just so you have a feeling for where we're headed. So let me begin by reading the quote that both Mangalananda and I often read, or almost always read, at the beginning of satsang. I call them Ma's words of assurance. I am ever with each one of you, wherever you happen to be. But your vision is tied down to worldly matters, and you have little time to direct your eyes to this body and your thoughts and actions. What can I do? But know it for certain that whatever you do in thought and deed, whether you are near or in distant lands, never escapes my loving attention. Just as at a flash of torchlight, your faces gleam forth in their bold outlines, all your facial expressions appear in my mind when you meditate on me or talk about me or sit down to pray to me. You may want to banish this body from your mind, but this body will not leave you for a single day. It does not and never will leave your thought. Whoever has once been drawn to love this body will never succeed in wiping out its impressions despite hundreds of attempts. This body resides and shall remain in his memory forever. In all of your activities, in your sadhana, Ma is with you. With perfect repose, sit still, thinking, in the midst of emptiness, Ma is with me. This will give you Ananda, bliss. So Jaya, let's you and I sing that first pranam mantra.
Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatparam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Thank you. We couldn't decide who was going to play that. So, let's see, who do we have? Patricia, how many people do we have on Zoom right now? I'm just curious.
14, and all the words of the chants are in the chat.
Great. So for those of you who are on Zoom, Patricia has put the words to the chants, including that mantra, in the chat. So you are welcome to look there as we chant. So now we have time for introductions, and let's begin with the people who are on Zoom. And Patricia is going to call your name, and you can just, oh, thank you. Yes. And you can just say your name and where you're from for now.
Okay, so we'll start with Katya, Janani, and David. Yeah, you can unmute.
Katya, you're first.
Yes, hello, dear ones. This is Katya from Portugal, Madeira Island, as Pragnya has said. Very, very happy to be here with you. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, thank you.
Janani,
You just have to.
can you unmute?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
My name is Janani from Canada. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, Janani. So good to see you.
And David?
David and Linda?
Yes, we are David and Linda from Virginia. We have been to Kankal to visit with Ma's burial site. And we also feel closer to her since we participated with Mangalananda and Gloria here in Virginia, like last month. Thank you. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, welcome.
And now we'll go through Laura, Shivank, and Kathleen.
Laura?
I'm Laura Riggle. I'm in Iowa City in Iowa, and I'm very happy to be here.
So good to have you, Laura.
Thank you.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. Jai Ma.
Shivank.
Jai Ma, I'm Shivang from Wichita, Kansas.
Are you unmuted, Shivank?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Okay, so just introduce yourself and say where you're from.
I'm Shivang Jaiswal. I'm from Wichita, Kansas.
Welcome.
And then Kathleen?
Kathleen?
Kathleen from New Jersey.
Hi,
Jai Ma.
Kathleen. Jai Ma, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And then we have James, Barty, and Michael.
James, can you unmute? There you go.
Jim Broadus from Las Vegas. Jema.
Jim, very good to see you.
Jim, very good to see you, Jema.
Thank you. Jema.
I'm Bharti Bapta from Bolton, Massachusetts. Jaima, everybody. Thank you for having us.
Welcome.
And then Michael and Molly.
I'm Michael from Northern California. Jema.
Jema, Michael. Good to see you.
I'm Molly from Connecticut. Jema.
Jema, Molly, good to see you. 2 days in a row. Molly's attending our Ma 101 class on Saturdays. And we had a wonderful class yesterday. Thank you. Okay, so let's go around the room here. Starting over here with you, Jerry.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm from Boston. And I've known Pragya for quite a while through our kirtans, Lincoln Kirtan. So it's my honor to accompany the Indian girls called Dublin.
Thank you. My honor to have you. Josh.
I'm Josh. I'm from Vermont. And just very happy.
Angie, also from Vermont. Yeah, Angie and Josh are Northern Ma devotees who come all the way down to the pouring rain. Great to see you.
I'm Jaya. My son Arjo. We are from Belmont, Massachusetts.
Jema and Arunava.
Oh, I'm hiding here. Arunava. So, Jan, Arju. So, family. So, we're here. Very good to be here.
It's good to have you. Thank you so much. Okay, Carmen.
Hi, I'm Carmen from Western Massachusetts.
Jema.
Hey, everybody, I'm Ted.
You're here. You are where you live.
There's a blessing in there.
Rose. Here for realizing, here for healing.
Jema. You live in, tell me your
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield. Such a beautiful town. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jema. Dennis.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dennis. Delighted to be here. I live nearby in East Hampton, Massachusetts.
Yeah, we finally lured Dennis out here to the valley. It's great to have you here. Jema. Patricia.
I am Patricia and I'm from Boston. Very happy to be here.
Toby, how about you?
I'm from East Hampton as well. We're neighbors.
Excellent.
Pleasure to be with you all today.
Thank you so much for being here. Yay. And I'm Pragya. Oh, Ezra. Sorry.
I'm Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra also drove through the pouring rain. How long is your drive?
I'm ready.
Jema, good to see you. Thank you for coming. I'm Pragya, living now here with Ted in our temporary ashram in Amherst. I realize I've been devoted to Ma for 3 decades, but I feel like it's been 3 lifetimes. I feel as though she's orchestrated my whole life from the very beginning. I've had the honor to write 2 books on Ma. The first one was a study of her called Mother of Bliss, and then recently finished editing along with Jaya the Gospel of Sri Anandamayi Ma, which is all of Ma's satsangs that she gave during the last 20 years of her life, or most of them. So last fall, Ted and I and 3 other devotees formed a nonprofit called the Sri Anandamayi Ma Ashram and Temple, with the intention of starting the first ashram devoted to Ma in the continental United States, the mainland. There's one in Hawaii, on the Big Island. So 2 months ago, we moved into this beautiful place, and this room immediately became Ma's hall. And actually, I started meditating here before we even moved in. We had this 2-month period, and you could feel her presence just growing and growing as we started to practice in here. So our vision is to find a place where people can learn more about Ma and to celebrate her life and practice her teachings. And by next spring, we hope to have raised enough resources to buy our own property for the ashram. And Patricia, would you mind putting in the chat our website so people
It's in
can
there.
see? Okay, thank you so much. You're way ahead of me. So today we have just an interesting assortment of musicians here. It's like today I think we have a musical mandala for Ma. And I don't know how this happened, but it's pure bliss that we have so many amazing musicians who make contributions to our satsang today. So we're going to begin with a chant that Jaya always asked me to sing this chant. And Arunava too, right? I don't know why. It's just such a simple chant, but it's so sweet and so sweet. And it's in your chat. Bajamanama. And does everyone have a chanting sheet who's in this room? Arunava, would you mind going out to the table out there and getting chanting sheets? That would be great. Yeah, but I don't want them to be on the screen there, Patricia.
Okay. Yeah, I have to get them into the chat.
Yeah. So the reason that we love this chant is that it was the favorite chant of Swami Vijayananda, who's going to be sort of the focus of our satsang today. Swami Vijayananda was a French doctor, a Jewish French doctor from Paris, and he came to India on a quest to find a guru. And as he told me when I interviewed him for my book, he told me that he was expecting to find a guru with a long white beard. And instead, people kept saying, you've got to go see this Anandamayi Ma. And he kept saying, you know, I wasn't picturing a woman guru. And I'm going to be telling the story of his first meeting Ma in a few minutes after I sing the song. But he was an extraordinary holy man who died, I think I looked it up maybe 10 years ago. But whenever we went to India, he always welcomed us with all his heart at Ma Samadhi, where she's buried. And he would have a little satsang every night outside. And how many of you have been to Pampal? Just Jaya and Arunava, Ted and I. It's a very beautiful ashram. And so he would sit out there and mostly speak in French. And then every once in a while he turned to me. He insisted on calling me Lisa, not Pragya. And he would turn to me and say, Lisa, you understand? And I do understand a little French, but not enough. And but his incredible warmth brought many, many devotees. And he was taken after he left his body. He was taken to Paris, and he's buried in what's the name of the Père Lachaise, the beautiful cemetery in France, where many, many famous people are buried. And there's a shrine to him. Many French devotees go there to ask for his blessings. Have you been there? No, we haven't either. Okay, so we're going to sing Bhajamana Ma, and the words are very, very simple, and they mean. Bhajamana Ma means, oh my mind, sing the song of Ma, sing the name of Ma. And the second line is Anandamayi Ma, which as we know means the bliss permeated mother. Ananda Rupa Ma, she is the form of bliss. So, and the first line is long. It's two phrases long, and then you'll come in along with our beautiful kirtan wallas here who are sitting ready to sing with you. Bhajamana Ma, 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 Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Everyone. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Everyone, Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma. Anandamayi, ma, ma. Anandarupa, ma, ma. Anandamayi, ma, ma. Anandarupa, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, ma, ma, ma. Vajamanama, Anandamayi, ma, ma. Pajamanama ma 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 Pajamanama ma 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 Shri Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Wow. That sounded so wonderful. These two guitars, you were playing guitar to sound like a banjo. That was really cool. Yeah, it was like really. So, it's time to do our reading. Usually Mangalananda and I, our first reading is about someone's experience of meeting Ma, the sort of the way people have been touched by Ma. And unfortunately, because we just moved, I couldn't find my actual transcription from Swami Vijayananda's interview, but he's given this talk many, many times, so I found a wonderful one. So I just would love you to imagine, be in his shoes, this French doctor, he's in India looking for guidance, looking for healing, looking for love, and this is how it ends up. It was on, first of all, I wish I could have a big French accent to tell you this, because he has such an amazing French accent. It was on the 2nd of February, 1951, at about 6 o'clock in the evening, that I saw her for the first time in her ashram in Benares. Having provisionally placed a substitute in charge of my medical practice, I had left France in quest of spiritual guidance in this country which since time immemorial has illuminated the world. Landing in Buddhist Ceylon, then proceeding along the east coast of India, I had arrived in Benares the previous day. Tired and disappointed, almost convinced that my journey had been in vain, and determined to return to France, I had already reserved a berth on the Marseillaise, which was to sail from Colombo on February 21st. I'm frequently asked, what was my first impression of Ma? What made me decide to leave everything, family, friends, country, profession, wealth, to follow her? Why I have clung to her like a shadow for the last 11 years. Suffering torments whenever I am unable to see her for a few hours. Why, though I cannot understand what she says, I spend hours at her feet without taking my eyes off her. So clearly this is one time he's talking about this. She's still in her body. It is very difficult to reply to these questions, not because language lacks words, but because a word has not the same meaning for different persons, unless they all have experienced the sensation corresponding to that word. Thus, one may well try with the aid of comparisons to make a child in France realize what exactly is the flavor of a mango. Even if one spends hours over it, he would only get a very vague idea, and that might be mostly false. All the same, having made room for all of these unavoidable limitations, I shall now make an attempt. What then was my first impression? It was the evening of the 2nd of February. I found myself in the presence of a woman of 55, looking younger than her age, still very beautiful. But at that moment, I did not notice her beauty. It was only later that I became aware of it. I still see her, focusing her eyes on me with that strange gaze that seemed to embrace my whole destiny. That same evening at about 10 o'clock, she had granted me an interview, which lasted about 20 minutes. She was supposed to answer my questions, but I had nothing to ask. I simply desired to make a spiritual contract. She seemed to divine my thought. It was she who put the questions, clear, precise, going straight to the heart of things, raising exactly the points which interested me. But her words were only a play on the surface. In those 20 minutes, she had infused something into me, which was to last for a long time, which still continues. I returned to Clark's Hotel after having her secured her permission to come back the next day to live in the ashram. I was in a strange state. My heart swelled with jubilation, with joyful exultation, the state of one who has just found what he has always yearned for in his most secret recesses. Her image did not leave me anymore, even at night, and the very thought of her drove tears into my eyes. What exactly had happened to me? My critical sense, which had been submerged by the first wave, awoke on the third or fourth day. Take care, it told me. You have fallen into the hands of a great magician. She has cast a spell over you to make you her obedient slave. And I began to be on the defensive, to struggle against her influence, rather feebly, I confess. For how can one fight love? There is no power in the world mightier than love. But what kind of love was this? It was not directed towards the woman. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the love one may feel for a woman. As by strange alchemy, my entire potentiality for affection, all that one can love and admire in the world, was transferred to her. But at the same time, this love became so pure, so sublimated, that it merged into and greatly intensified the call for the absolute that I had always felt. All worldly attachment lost its attraction, and the spiritual ascent became easier, since she had donned me the wings of love. For these 11 months that I have spent near her have given me the conviction that she is the Lord himself, incarnate in the body of a woman. I thought that this love, I'm obliged to use this word for want of a better one, would disappear, at least dwindle with time. The very contrary has happened. It has only grown in intensity, for it is like with those ancient cities buried underground. As one delves deeper, ever more new marvels are brought to light. Something that has struck me from the first day is the atmosphere of the miraculous in which one moves when one is with her. Let me explain. In Europe, and no doubt here also by the word miracle, one conceives of a breaking away from the laws of nature, something that strikes one as impossible, as absurd. But this is only its crude objective side. Its subtle, subjective aspect is quite different. What does it matter to me if a certain yogi has walked across the waters or flown through the sky? The real miracle is when that which one needs, which one desires keenly or feebly, comes at the very moment it is needed. And still better when it comes, not only as one desired it, but as one would have loved to see it in the innermost depth of one's heart. It has been for me as if I were guided on a path, beset with obstacles by the hand of the most loving mother, an all-powerful mother. As you advance, she removes all which must be removed. She even lifts you across in her arms. And all circumstances adjust and adapt themselves with a marvelous precision, without hurt. Coincidence, I thought at first, but a coincidence that goes on repeating itself daily cannot be called so anymore. And this all happens without apparently violating the laws of nature, for the Lord has no need to break any laws. He is the law. Should I give examples? No, for those who do not know her will not believe me, and those who have lived near her have already understood. She is like the Ganges. Her very touch purifies. In her presence, one feels oneself getting better all the time, not by the suppression of one's faults. The very fault is sublimated and becomes an aid in the search for the divine. She does not seem to notice or does not notice the dark sides of the individual. She only sees our luminous aspects, enhanced considerably by her divine mercy. So, as a PS to that, I thought I would ask someone who's on the Zoom, Laura, is it Regal, Laura, or Rigel? You can unmute. To read a section on that Vijayananda wrote on what is it like for people like us who never met Ma in person? How do we connect with her presence? Do you see her, Laura? Patricia, do you see Laura?
She has the red. She's got the red frock on.
Oh, yes. Frock. I think you must be in India right now. Hi, Laura. Is it Rigel or Regal? Can you unmute?
I'm sorry.
So while Laura's trying to unmute, I can just tell you she lives in Iowa City, Iowa, and she formerly taught English and American Studies at the University of Iowa. And she first learned about Ma at her Zen Center a year ago when a Sangha friend read aloud from the Gospel of Anandamayi Ma. She has been reading about Ma ever since, learning about her life, and it has changed her Zen meditation. And she now uses a photograph of Ma to meditate with. So thank you, Laura. Would you like to read this little section that he wrote about what it's like for us who never got to meet Ma in the body?
Yeah, I would be delighted. I'd be delighted to do that. This is an excerpt from an interview that he gave in the 90s during Ma's birthday centenary when they're celebrating over a course of a year the miracle of her existence, her birth. And there's a question, and then Vijayananda gives an answer. The question asked by the interviewer is this: now that Ma's birthday centenary has come to an end, it has enabled us to remember temporal aspects of her life, its important events, and so on. But now, how does one meditate on her timeless aspect? Vijayananda: Ma once said that she had come among us because there was an appeal which had attracted her to our plane of existence. We suppose that there was a group of spiritually advanced people with an intense devotion toward the female aspect of the divine who made this appeal. But in reality, from where did she come? Of course, these matters cannot possibly be conceived by mind. However, roughly speaking, we can say that there is a mass of consciousness bliss, which has neither form nor place, but which is the support and basis of everything which exists. Modern scientists come near to this when they speak of a unified field, which is the basis of every atom. So what appeared to us in the physical form of Ma was somehow a crystallization of the omnipresent. Thanks to it, we could contact the Supreme in an easier way. Now, the physical form has been removed from our visual field, but the Supreme, of which she was the condensation, is still the same. It, or she, will always answer our call if we do it with a devotion which is intense enough. Of course, most people cannot directly contact the formless and need a visual support. For those who were touched by this divine apparition, which Ma Anandamayi Ma was, even if they did not meet her personally, a photo, reading a book, or a meditation in front of her samadhi or tomb can produce the necessary intensity so that the call might be effective.
Laura, thank you so much. Why? I don't know why I'm echoing. You know why I'm echoing?
I do.
Oh, good.
There's no
And
way
you
around.
could just fix it. Laura and I have been in communication. She's, sending me emails saying, have you read this? Have you read that? So just in 1 year, she's become so immersed in Ma. And I had been wishing for some kind of expression for those of us who never met Ma in the body of how we can relate to her. And I think that's just such a beautiful passage. I'm gonna print that out. So thank you, Laura, very much. That was really special. Okay, so now we're gonna enjoy a couple of kirtans. We're gonna start with our beloved friend from Vermont, we were just saying because of the pandemic, we haven't seen each other in a really long time. So they're going to sing a song to Ma Kali, who we see up on the altar, dressed in red. And the words are in the chat, right, Patricia? Thank you so much. And I think I could use a chanting sheet. Would you mind getting one for me? Thank you. I want to sing too. Thank you so much.
Jema, thank you so much for letting us be here and to chant. And we're offering this chant to Ma Kali, as you were so beautifully saying, that Ma gives us exactly what we need. It's not always exactly maybe the way we think it should be, but it's always what we need, and so Kali is so much that. We'll open this, Ya Devi Sarve Bhuteshu Matre Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. We'll do that 4 times call and response. Basically, when Josh is singing, that's your invitation. But you can sing whatever.
We're singing with Josh.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But you can sing with me too, it's okay. And then the second part, Kali Om and Om Klim, and then Kali Om and Kali Durge, is in unison. So we like to say, jump on the train when it feels right. Okay?
Namastasye Namo Namaha.
Jai Ma. That was so beautiful. I want to listen to it again right now. Wow, thank you. That was really nice. So just a few words about Jaya and Arjo. So I prayed to Ma for a friend to come to Boston to help me just be closer to Ma, who was close to Ma. And so Ma sent me Jaya, who is here to marry Arunava. And it was like a miracle. It happened within a month of these intense prayers that I made. And she is the grandniece of Ma. So she is in Ma's lineage, and of course she speaks Bengali, so we got to translate this book together, 900 pages of it. And while we were doing that, her belly was getting bigger with none other than Arjo. So it's a really beautiful story of Ma's miracle, you know, answer to prayer. And we're so happy that you're here to sing for us. Tell us what you're singing.
We are singing Rama 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 Nama Tarakam. So the song says we sing in praise of Lord Rama, who is going to protect us from all the evils and lead us to victory.
Beautiful. And the words are in your chat if you're on Zoom.
Rama
Thank you, Jaya, Arjo. That was, did you sing that at Amma's?
No.
No.
He sang the first one.
The first one. This was really, when you got up so high, Arjo. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Wow. So beautiful. Oh, okay, so we're going to have a short reading now from in Ma's words. And this is from the Gospel of Sri Anandamayi Ma, the book that Jai and I worked on together. And that was such an amazing experience doing that with you, I must say. So in this tape so picture that we're listening to the tapes of Ma's voice for real, that were taken on a little tape recorder, you know, somebody had one right next to her feet, and everybody thought that she didn't want to be taped. There was this kind of, you know, secretive thing, they would put it under the chair or whatever, and one time someone forgot to turn on the tape, and Ma said, yeah. She pointed and asked it to go on. So clearly these 900 pages of tapes were meant to be heard and contemplated and so forth. This is tape number 72 from Gondal in 1976. So Ma was 80 years old when she was having this satsang. And Swami Nirmalananda, didn't we decide it was, whenever it was Baba, it was Nirmalananda, right? Reading to her. I just love having you here when I'm reading this. So Swami Nirmalananda says, here is a question from a gentleman. If the Atma, the self, is pure, how can it be covered by avaran, the veil of ignorance? If the avaran is beginningless and always with the Atman, then how can one think of obtaining his original nature? Shrima. There is no question of any avaran where there is Parabrahma, Paramatma, the highest God. He is Nitya, eternal. But there is also the Jivatma, the bound soul. These are the two things, Jivatma and Paramatma. This body always gives an example. Water becomes dirty, filter it and it will become clean. It is the pure Atman, only nothing else. Jivatma and Paramatma, both of these words have a common word, Atma. The free Atma, that's the self with a capital S, is Paramatma, the greatest self. And the Atma in bondage is Jivatma, the individual soul. And what is avaran, the veil of ignorance that you were talking about just now? It is duality. How did this avaran come into existence? It is said that God created this world with his imagination for himself to play in. It is all his play. Nobody can do any work without imagination or thought. Duality is there as long as the person works in the kingdom of the mind, Manoraja. When we are in the kingdom of the mind, which is where many of us are most of the time, certainly myself, when we are in the kingdom of the mind, we make assumptions, we take things for granted. He appeared in the form of the rishis and the mahatmas, that is, the seers and the great beings. So this quality of a rishi, this rishitva, and this quality of the sage or munitva, it's there in everybody. He acts as Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha, Shiva. All three are in him alone. He comes in the form of rishis, munis, and mahatmas to free this jiva, this bound soul, from bondage. This is also his play. Shrishti, creation, Sthiti, maintenance, and Laya, dissolution, they've all been created by God. God is manifested in all these forms. Hari, God, demonstrated his lila, divine play, by showing how he came as a crocodile. He comes in all those forms to remove that avaran, the veil of ignorance. To save the mind, he appears in the form of mantra, Shabda, sound, and Akshara, sacred syllable. He is Nirakara in Sakara, the formless in the form. And Ma laughs. Whatever the rishis and munis have done, they have done for our own good and for the upliftment of the mind. Their words will uplift the mind. All of these kriyas are beginningless and endless, and they are having an end as well. Swami Nirmalananda. Both of these questions have been answered by Ma. It is he who has created this veil of ignorance for his own play, and within this very lila, divine play, he has also arranged to remove that avaran, that veil, Sri Ma. Yes, he has made a complete arrangement. He has arranged these rishis and munis, mantras, mantra shakti, the power of the mantra, and all these other things. Had there not been any shakti in the mantra, why would one have wanted to recite it? Mantra is one and the same in spite of being different. When you concentrate on the words, you will see them as different. And when you concentrate on God, you will see them as one. Now it's up to you, Baba, to explain and help them understand. So Nirmalananda says, both of Ma's answers are very beautiful. God created this veil of ignorance with his divine will and powerful intention for himself to play with. Who dares to ask him why he did so? And as part of his lila, his divine play, he also made arrangements to remove it. He came in the form of avatars, incarnations. He also arranged mantra and mantra shakti to free the self from this veil of ignorance. Shrima. Baba, it is God himself in the form of mantra and akshara too. Right, Baba? As this murti represents him, so the akshara is also his murti. Swami Nirmalananda. He came in the form of ignorance and became the veil of ignorance. And then he came as vidya, knowledge, in the form of mantra, akshara, gurus, saints, and vrishis. He incarnated as Ma. He came in the form of yoga sadhana. Jai Ma. So, now, hold on a second. We're going to have a short sharing. We'll see how it works logistically. If anyone in the room would like to share something that touched them about our readings, these songs, our being together, our preparing to be together. And if anyone on Zoom would like to raise their hand, Patricia will call on you. Jaya?
Jaima, I would like to share a few one-on-one conversations with Swami Vijayanandaji. So I first met Swami Vijayanandaji when I was 4 years old. Yes, in 1985. And my mom, slowly as we talked to him, like my mom became very close. She has a series of interview and tapes recorded, although that is not translated, it's still in the archives at my home. And so my mom asked him that he never used to take anything from the ashram or from any devotee. If you give him one sweet or any piece of cloth as a gift, he always used to give away. So my mom asked him that, like, why don't you take, like, how, or else how you're able to survive in India. So then he said that the little pension he had from his country, he's able to bear his expenses like food, clothing, and everything what Ma gave him. Like he didn't have like much of things or worldly desires to meet his daily needs. The bare needs were all satisfied with whatever little money he used to get from his pension. And second incident was I knew he never takes, but he was always surrounded by Westerners with question answer sessions after the aarti at around 7 p.m. So I got a box of sweet. I was a kid. I wanted to give him a box of sweets and chocolates and chips. So I gave it to him thinking that he will take home and eat. And then what he did was he gave away everything in front of me. There were around 15 people. Whoever was passing, he was calling, come here, Baba, take this. And I felt so disheartened that time. I said, why is he giving away? I couldn't hold myself. I said, Swamiji, these are for you. And then he tells me, you love these things? I said, these are my favorite and I want to share with you. So he said that if not only don't share, not only with me, how will you feel? Look at the other people's faces when they're eating. They are so happy. So he taught me a lesson. The things you love, if you share among a larger group of people rather than only with one people who is a favorite, that brings us more joy.
Yeah.
Jai Ma. Jai Ma. We love that. Thank you. Wow. Who else has something to share, either from today or something that's been going on in your sadhana with Ma? Anybody have their hands up there, Patricia? Ted.
Yeah.
Ted.
Hi.
Hi, Arpita.
Hi. So, yeah, I said we weren't going to be able to be here, but the storm, the hurricane, and we had car problems before that. So here we are. And I'm very hoping we can get on the road soon. But I just wanted to say that this is a wonderful satsang. Very happy to be here. And I really enjoyed the Vijayananda piece that you did, because he really expressed it beautifully, that for how just being with her, you can't really explain. But I have felt her in my presence a lot this week. I've been going through quite a bit of stress. So I've been praying to her a lot. Get into the pool sometimes, and that's my place of Zen. So I've been praying in the pool as I move through the water. Then I look at the sky and just repeat the mantra and pray to Ma. So anyway, this is a real gift today. I'm very glad that we were able to join you. And thank you so much for doing this. That's it.
Arpita, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm happily surprised. So Arpita met Ma when she was, what, 19 or 20 or something?
No, I was older than that. I was with her in 73 and 76.
73 and 76.
And received many blessings. Paul is my name.
Mm-hmm.
And just very grateful for that experience. And for many years, I feel like like I said this before, I feel like I've come full circle in a way. As an older person, I'm back connecting more with her.
Mm.
And I'm so glad that you all are doing the satsangs, you and Mangalananda, and also going to the retreat at the end of September. We're planning on doing that, and I'm hoping that both of us are well enough to do it. So
we hope so.
It's
too.
great. It's just great to
we're
be
very happy that you're coming.
Yeah, it's really great.
Jai
So
Ma.
I admire you all so much for doing all of this. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's an honor. Yes. Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else would like to share today? Did you want to share?
Yeah, I just.
Please, Jeff. Share, Ted.
I met Vijayananda just for a couple of days. It was such a sweet experience. Even somebody as jut as me, as thick as me. Because he was so sweet and accepting. You get a sense of Ma's love coming through him. It was just so sweet. I adored him. That's really, so I love him a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Ted. Thank you so much, J Ma. Okay, one more person maybe, and then we'll.
Is it Bart or Michael? Yes.
Oh, Bart. Is it Barki?
Yes, it is, Chaima. I was in India this year in January, and I went to Sanyam Saptah in near Baruch in Ma's ashram, and it was my intense desire to go to the next one. And I hear from you that you're holding one, and that made me so happy. I really thank you for doing all this, so we all can get glimpse of Ma now and then. Thank you so much.
Oh, Bharti, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you shared. Yes, Bharti and her husband are Vital are coming to the Sanyam Sapta, which I'll be announcing at the end. We're renting the Shivananda Yoga Ranch in Woodburn, New York, and having a 5-day retreat with none other than Swami Guru Sharan, our big 6'6" Swami. I think you guys will love him. I can't wait for all of us to be there together. Thank you so much, Jai Ma. Michael?
Thank you, Chaima.
Would you like to speak?
Yes, I just want to thank you all so much. The music today has been so moving and so beautiful, and I just want to thank you all. And I just wanted to say that I've been reading Vijayananda's writings on Ma's website, and there's quite a bit of writings there of his, and it's all very interesting. So thank you so much, Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, you're so welcome. And Michael, thank you for reminding me. I wanted to tell everyone that you go on Anandamayi.org. It's not our ashram website, it's different. Anandamayi.org. There's a beautiful, long writings of Swami Vijayananda on there. Laura, you wanted to say something?
Just something quick. When I was in Paris, I went to Vijayananda's Père Lachaise shrine. He's buried with a huge picture of Ma behind him. And there's a wonderful, because he's Jewish, he's got a Jewish and Ma kind of conflated shrine there. But there's this beautiful photograph of him, and he's holding this yellow seed. He's just going like this. And I read a lot in Ma's words about how seeds and trees, of course, fruit too, are so important. And I feel like that was just a wonderful visual image with this incredible smile on his face. Just this seed, it's yellow, kind of like a little mango seed.
Oh, thank you, Laura. That's a great image. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I hope everyone will go on that site and read he's, as a Westerner, he has a special way of expressing what it was like to be with Ma that we can really feel and understand. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing, everyone. This is such a beautiful satsang. If there's Ma talks about many different practices, like there's 5 special practices we should do, but she always says the most important practice is satsang. To be in the company of truth with other devotees, it just elevates us. It's very different from us being all by ourselves, right? So I'm just very grateful for that. Okay, so now we'll have a treat of a beautiful kirtan from Katya from Portugal. Katya's going to sing a famous shloka that we all probably know about how the Guru is our mother, father, brother, friend, is our all, and I can't wait to hear her. Okay, Katya. Are we ready?
We're muting you.
Now it's perfect. I hope you can hear me. Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't having any feedback from you. Very, very happy to be here with you all. So I'm going to sing as Pragnya said, Twameva Mata, Chapita Twameva, Twameva Bandhu, Chasaka Twameva, Twameva Vidya, Dravinam Twameva, Twameva Sarvam, Mama Deva Deva. You alone are my father, my mother. You alone, my father. You alone are my family. You alone, my friend. You alone are my knowledge. You alone, my wealth. You are everything to me, O Lord of Lords. You alone, O Ma. Twameva Mata, Chapita Twameva, Twameva Bandhu, Chasaka Twameva, Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva, Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. All together. Twameva Mata, Chapita Twameva, Twameva Bandhu, Chasaka Twameva, Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva, Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Twameva Mata, Chapita Twameva, Twameva Bandhu, Chasaka Twameva, Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva, Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Jai Ma. Thank you, Katya.
Jai Ma.
So
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Every satsang she sings another beautiful song. Wow. Rose, would you like to sing now?
Yeah.
So I I had two songs in my mind that Rose might be singing, and I put the wrong one on the chanting sheet. So I want her to teach us. I know this one too, and love it. You know, this is a song, Rose, that we've sung in our Wings of Song band for years.
Well, there's actually two. Like they're both not very long, so I thought if we have time for both.
Do a medley.
A Buddhist one, and the other one. Yeah, they're both like super simple. Do you want me to just do one? Is that right?
I think one would be good, given that it's 5:30. Yeah.
Sure. Let me keep this on.
Do you need any sound check? Toby, or is we okay?
I'll make it work.
Okay. Would you tell us the words first, just so
Oh yeah, this is super simple. So the first is call and response. Hari Om, dear Lord. Everybody says, dear Lord. Satnam, Satnam, holy name. Say it together. When we call on the light within, I go home. That's it. And then at one point I'm gonna start chanting Ma's name, Ma, and everybody can just chant along, okay?
That's beautiful. Thank you.
And just, you don't have to sing into the mic because you're on an amplifier.
Okay, great. You want me to tune up?
I'm okay if you start playing. I'll try.
Okay. Actually, Hari Om, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Hari Om, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Hari Om.
Hi, Ma.
That was wonderful.
Thank you, Rose.
Welcome.
It sounded so beautiful. I love those two chants together.
Are you guys doing long-term sunshine?
Not now, because what we're going to do right now is, Patricia, I don't think you've had enough to do today. I'd like to see if you can play the meditation slideshow.
Oh, wow.
So, a lovely Ma devotee who comes to our satsang very often, named Gabriel Bara, has made this beautiful slideshow with Ma singing in the background. It's really quite remarkable, but it turns out it's not the easiest thing in the world to share screen and sound. But we're going to try it. We've tried it 2 satsangs in a row, and 3 is a charm. What do you think, Patricia?
I'm going to mute the room in a second, just so you know, so you won't be heard.
Okay.
What's yours? System.
That's working now.
Right click on the share thing.
Try that sound if you can get the pictures.
So go back to share.
Yeah, press that arrow. It's probably under advanced sharing options, to be honest. All right, well, they're not hearing that out there. We're hearing it here, but not out there.
Hey, Rose, we can hear the pictures, see the pictures up. There's the option on the right, it says share sound.
Yep.
Share sound on the
See in the far right there? Yep. Pull further right. There it is. Let's try it one more time from the beginning.
Jai Jai Guru Sri Guru 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 Jai Jai Guru Saranam Namo 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 Shri Guru Saranam Namo.
The YouTube video.
Yeah.
You know your computer possibly better than her. Where's the YouTube video located right
She knows it.
now? Okay.
Jai Guru Jai Guru Shri Guru Dev.
Okay.
Jai Guru Saranam Namo 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 Jai Jai Guru Saranam Namo 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 Jai Guru Saranam
Shri Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Thank you, Patricia. You persisted. It was beautiful. It was worth it. Yeah, it was beautiful. We'll figure out what you did right so we can do it again. So I'm going to make a couple of announcements now before we have our closing mantras. We, first of all, so look forward to, in 2 weeks, we're now on a two-week schedule. So the first Sunday of the month is Satsang here at the ashram, and then the third Sunday of the month is on Zoom with Swami Acharya Mangalananda. So every 2 weeks. So on the 18th we'll have a Zoom satsang with Acharya Mangalananda. But there's so much excitement in September, I have to tell you about that. For those of you who have never met Swami Guru Sharan Ananda, it's almost hard to explain, and he's literally larger than life, right, Jerry? Yeah, he's 6'6". He's born a Sikh, but he's become a Hindu monk. So he's a 6'6" guy with gray hair down to his waist and orange robes, and he is full of Ma's joy. Like, he is so full of joy that it's completely contagious to be around him. He runs an ashram near Indore for orphan boys, 60 orphan boys. He keeps raising 60 orphan boys. Now that the ones he raised before are now teachers in the school. Then he has a school for 250 children, very, very poor children in the village. And it's just the most fantastic place. You're there the whole time. All these little boys are constantly saying, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. You can't walk an inch without somebody saying Jai Ma. And Swamiji is a fantastic teacher. He's also an amazing kirtan leader. Anyone who's heard, I mean, how would you describe his kirtan, you guys? It's just
Pure bliss.
pure bliss. Then he has a really low, deep bass voice. But then he does this thing where he goes up an octave. And remember that Shiva Shiva Hara 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 Mahadev one?
Yes.
Yes, so we're sure he's going to do that. So here's the schedule. He's coming later than we had hoped, but he is still coming to give a satsang here at the ashram on the 14th evening, a day long the next day on the 15th, right here. Then on the 21st, Lincoln Kirtan fundraiser at St. Anne's in the Fields in Lincoln. Gee, Dennis,
Yes.
you think you can be the host?
I'm there.
Yeah. Dennis is our famous Lincoln Kirtan welcomer. So you'll be there, but you got to come here for the nights before, because that's going to be really cozy in here with him. And then we all head down to the Catskills for the 26th through the 30th for this 5-day retreat. And for that, Acharya Mangalananda is joining him. So when they sing together, it's really, really fun, because Mangalananda is a tenor and an amazing singer. And together they just produce so much Shakti, so much Bhav, so much the whole thing. So we're going to have a Sanyam Sapta at the Yoga Ranch in Ma's tradition, where we spend the whole day doing yoga, meditating, chanting, dancing at night around with instruments and singing. What do we call that?
Nam Kirtan.
Nam Kirtan in the evening. It's going to be really amazing. So our website is on the Zoom, and anyone can remember it. It is www.anandamayimaashram.com, and it's on the invitation I sent you for today, and you can register for these events. The Sanyam Sapta, you have to go on the Shivananda Yoga Ranch site to register for. So anyway, it's going to be so much fun, and I just can't wait. Ted and I are just figuring out how we're going to cook that many vegetarian meals in that many days here in our kitchen. We might have to call on Arunava. Arunava produced the most incredible prasad, you all remember, at our opening ceremony. It was unbelievable. People are still talking about it.
It's incredible.
So we might have to bring you out here. I don't know, you might have to pretend to be sick or something. Come out here and cook for a couple of days, because I want Swamiji to taste your food. That'd be so fun. So thank you all so much for coming. We're going to do some closing mantras. Would you do the closing mantras? I'll sing along with you. And then we'll say our goodbyes. We'll do it in your key. In your key, Jaya.
Yes.
Twameka mata
जय सर्वदेव देवी मयि श्री श्री आनंदमयी माँ की
Jai Jai Ma. Namaste to everyone, and special thank yous to everyone here in this room. Jerry and Ezra, thank you so much for accompanying us. Angie and Josh coming from Vermont. Runava bringing his family. Jaya and Arjo. And Toby on sound, incredible. Patricia, the brave one.
In training.
Yes. Rose closing us out with that beautiful chant with Ma. And yeah, thank you. Katya. All of you online. Carmen, who helped us so much with setup. Of course, Ted, as always, Ted helped Toby find all of these chords that we needed or many of these chords that we needed for today. So we really had an amazing cooperative get-together. And I love all of you online. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
And you too. Yeah, and Pragya too.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. I can't wait to see you again. So maybe we could get good at this hybrid thing. Do you think so? With Ma's help, with Ma's grace, yeah. Okay, Jai Ma, thank you so much. Everyone have a safe trip home or into your other room if you're on Zoom. And we'll see you in 2 weeks with Mangalananda. And then, and Bharti, we're going to see you soon next week for lunch. I'm looking forward to that. And then all of our September events. We expect to see you here. Yeah. Okay, Jai Jai Ma. Thank you, everyone.